What would you say you do here?
It's the Signal Chords, home of the Underground podcast. A podcast dedicated to up-and-coming bands, labels, artists, and more. Plug in and join your host, Brad Nunnery, as he dives deep into what the future of music has to hold and discover something new along the way. What else do you have to do?
Hi, friends.
We're Lamont,
and you're listening to Signal Chords,
home of the Underground podcast. Get you some, please.
I'm addicted to dopamine. I'm addicted to pain. I'm addicted to the idea of the thought of what cannot be a day. I have no self-control. I have little to show for all of the moments I could have spent accomplishing a dream. Running round in circles to get through the day. It's dizzying but numbing to the pain. It's all the rage, yeah, and in exchange for the intense joy you can't maintain. Can there be a cure for anything? The addictions to our own brains. I'm addicted to hanging out and being alone. I'm addicted to anything that's got us free. I can drink a snort of smoke. If you're gonna fight drugs, you gotta know that the drugs will win. We're all looking for happiness and comfort from within. No matter how destructive the alternative, it's a biological imperative. Society's unwilling to provide or recognize, and it's by design. And it's so strange, you can be addicted to anything. Just cram it in your face, it's all the rage. Yeah, and it's change, many times of joy you can't maintain. Can there be a cure for anything? The addiction to our own. It's so strange, you can be addicted to anything. Just cram it in your face, it's all the rage. Yeah, and it's change, many times of joy you can't maintain. Can there be a cure for anything? Yeah, but it's so strange, you can be addicted to anything. Just cram it in your face, it's all the rage. Yeah, and it's change, many times of joy you can't maintain. Can there be a cure for anything? The addictions to our own brains.
That's the latest song and music video from our really good friends in Lamont. It is called Addicted. You can find that song off their upcoming album, Here's the Thing, set to drop on August 28th via Double Felix Records and Punk Rock Radar in the US. Also in Disconnect over in the UK. They've got vinyl, all that good stuff. The pre-order's up. Definitely recommend you check out this really killer skate/pop punk band based out of Sacramento, California. But if you want to find out more about Lamont, you can so at Lamont Rips. All right, what's up, everybody? My name is Brad Nunnery. Welcome to Signal Chords, home of the Underground podcast, Season 4, Episode 9, presented by my really good friend Jeff Small over at 1603 Designs. My guest tonight is Howi Spangler. He is the frontman of the band Ballyhoo. Formed in 1995, this band has released a slew of records over the years, as well as EPs. But their brand new record, Bad Summer, is dropping on August 28th, and it's produced by John Feldmann of Goldfinger and producing fame. So I'm super excited to talk to Howi about working with John. We're going to dive deep into a lot of the songs off the new record. We're going to do a recap of their European tour that they just got off of. We'll talk about Parenthood, all that good stuff, right? So stick around. We got a lot to cover, but right now let's get into their title track off Bad Summer. This is Bad Summer. It's on Signal Chords, home of the Underground podcast.
before. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Got me lying on the floor. What do I gotta do? Make you fall back in love. I got a lot to prove. Only one I'm thinking of. Answer your telephone. Let's just go for a drive. Baby, let me take you home. Just like the first time. Oh, just a shell of myself. Oh, you got me living in hell now. This summer's about to be a bad one. She left me again under the hot sun. I'll get over you, I've said this before. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Got me lying on the floor. This summer's about to be a bad one. But you can blame it all on me. Just blame it all on me. Just blame it all on me. Just blame it all on me. This summer's about to be a bad one. She left me again under the hot sun. I'll get over you, I've said this before. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Got me lying on the floor. This summer's about to be a bad one. But you can blame it all on me. Just 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 blame it all on me.
Howie, thank you so much for joining the podcast, man. Really super stoked to talk to you. I'm sorry to bother you on your vacation. I know we were talking before we hit record that you're recuperating after that European tour. How's everything going? How are you feeling today?
Actually, it's funny you ask how I'm feeling. I got sick over the weekend, I woke up at like 1:30 in the morning on Saturday, just like feeling like crap, and just getting a little bit better today, but a lot better than I did. But anyway, so I'm hoping that tomorrow is like a better day. But also, you're not bothering me. I booked this with you weeks ago, and then my wife last week is like, hey, we got a place to stay up in Bethany, and we should go do it because the kids have been asking all summer, and we weren't going to do it because it's just everything's so expensive, and but so we're just trying to make memories with kids.
Yeah, I mean, summertime. I have 3 kids myself, and I know what that's all like. And and being home through the summer and trying to keep them busy and doing all that kind of stuff. It's a full-time job, right? Just trying to make sure that they're entertained and not just locked in the rooms playing on their iPads and shit and all that kind of stuff, right?
I was just thinking today. I was like, being on a vacation is if you brought your kids, it is not a vacation.
No, it's especially for the dad.
Yeah, dude, I'm up every 20 minutes doing something, adjusting the tent, setting up the tent. Like daughter wants to play Frisbee or whatever, like getting some weird argument with my 16-year-old because he's, pushing back on something, just funny stuff, but it's all good, all fun family memories,
Yeah, no, exactly, and I feel the pain. We go to New Smyrna Beach here every year, and this is the first year we didn't go to New Smyrna. We went down to North Captiva Island, and got a little house on the island and stuff. And it was really great. And it was nice to not have to truck your stuff all the way down to the beach, with the coolers and the wagons and the tents, like you say, and all that kind of crap, which was really cool. It's like finally you can kind of rest and you're not waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning to get the coolers, iced down and get the kids sunscreen on and all that shit, man. It's such a crazy time, especially as when the kids are young and you have to do everything, with the suntan lotion and all that kind of stuff. But as they get older, they do their own stuff and they're responsible, right?
Totally. Yeah. I was just thinking today too, how it's funny how my wife and I used to be shit-faced at the bars, almost every night of the week back in the day. And then, getting food at 2-3 in the morning and staying up until 6 or 7 playing video games, waking up at noon, 2:00 p.m., and just do it all over again. And like now it's like she's the most responsible. Like she makes
Sure.
the kids, all of us, me too, get all lathered up with
Right.
like sunscreen, and just we don't miss an appointment for anything. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
so funny how things change.
Dude, have you ever seen those videos? It's the guy. He's at the beach, and his wife or his girlfriend's putting suntan lotion on his face, and he's like, "My girlfriend or my wife's putting suntan lotion on my face so I can go and play with the boys." And so, she's putting a thing stuff. And as soon as she's done, he like runs out to the beach, and like he's like full grown man doing it. It's the most funny. I don't know if you ever seen that video, but it's crazy. They got a whole bunch of different versions though.
I haven't seen
awesome.
it, but that is hilarious. It hits home.
All right, so you guys just came back off a European tour. Was this the first time you guys were in Europe? Have you guys ever toured Europe before? Really? I'm
First
surprised by
time.
that.
Yeah, we kind of were too. We didn't have like we didn't have any relationships with anyone in Europe or Japan that we could, because we did Japan last fall for the first time, and all this is happening now, 20 years after touring. We got to a point where we felt like we have beaten the U.S. to death. And it's, you ask some bands, they'll tell you it's kind of drying up a little bit. Part of it's the economy and things like that. But, we just wanted to get out and start making other conquests. And we finally have a team that has relationships with promoters and agents and stuff in those other countries. And we were able to put something together, and it was first time. It was very punk rock. It was, it was like going back to touring 20 years ago. It was, we got spoiled. We landed in Amsterdam, and of course the guys are like, Amsterdam, like,
right. Yeah.
That's it,
yeah. I can imagine. Yeah.
And I don't drink or smoke or anything anymore. And I was like, for me, it was just like another thing. And I hate to admit I'm not much of an explorer. I hate that about myself. Like, I don't like getting up and going and exploring cities. I should, but anyway, the other guys did, and they had a great time, and we got spoiled. We had air conditioning in the first two hotels. And then the first show, we had 200 people show up. Like, it was incredible.
Really?
And they're singing loud. It was wild. We had people flying from like Denmark and from the UK and just all over. And so we got spoiled with that. And then, the next couple nights was kind of, okay, this is what it's about here, just played some bars and played some old rock clubs, some old punk clubs. I remember Berlin, we had like, I think it was like 70 or 80 people, and it was ripping, it was but the place was this big and smelled like smoke. But it was just, we're up there. We went back to, basics. Like, we don't have a crew, so we're setting up our own gear again. And like,
old school. Yeah.
Our driver that we hired for this trip out there, he's from Italy originally. He was driving us around, and he was running merch for us as well. So it was very bare bones, but we got to see what it was all about, man. Just like from the ground up again. There wasn't that with Japan. We got spoiled the entire time because we were just like locked in with some bands they just crush out there. So every night our first show in Japan was 3,000 people sold out.
Are you serious? Wow, that's incredible. Yeah.
So like and then the last show in Japan was in Osaka, and we just played this festival to like 8,000 or 10,000 people out in the field there.
Wow.
And it was insane. But yeah, Europe was just it was great overall.
I mean, you're getting your feet in the water and that kind of stuff. And, are you guys anxious to go back after, after the record comes out? And you guys I know you have a big tour in the U.S. here coming up, in September. Are you guys itching to go back out there? How are you guys, kind of perceived out there? Did you get a lot of, good feedback from everybody and all that kind of stuff, and people coming to the shows? Was it as different as he thought it was, or is it,
Man, it was just like playing at home, honestly. Sometimes there was a language barrier, but for the most part, most people spoke English. even if there was like an accent to it. But I mean, certain shows like Vlaardingen in the Netherlands, insane show first night. Berlin was crazy. We played a few festivals. Punk Rock Holiday in Slovenia was the last show, and that was awesome. It was this beautiful country, Slovenia, very mountainous and a lot of trees and just gorgeous, beautiful water with running rapids and things, and just and the crowd there was insane. Like, we didn't know what to expect. We the band that played before us, and they put us on like the river stage there, which was sick. People just in their bikinis and board shorts, just like sitting out on the rafts in the water,
Sure.
and a bunch of people out front here. And like we thought we were going to get killed because all the bands around us were like heavy, like fast punk rock, and like,
really?
like,
Yeah.
we're about to play Bad Summer, like like
Right.
just like pop punk song, or
Sure.
whatever. Nah, we did swap out Bad Summer. We opened with Maryland Summer instead, which was fun.
Oh, there you go.
It's
It's
it's a
harder.
fast pop punk tune, and it got him going. And then, I mean, there were people going crazy. I mean, they were just there to have a good time. It was never. I think if we would have played like a couple reggae songs, they would have been fine. We played Mixtape and Walk Away, but it was great. They people jumping up on the subs and stage diving and crowd surfing.
That's awesome.
It was great, man. There was some really good shows.
And speaking of which, you had said that you switched it up with Maryland Summer. Now, when you're doing set lists, either in Europe or in the U.S., depending on the style of bands or maybe the venues or maybe the town that you're in, do you adjust your set list, should I say, according to what the vibe is, kind of a deal, or you already know a set list that you're going to go with depending on what market you're in?
Lately, we've been like going with one set and then sort of refining it as we go. It's funny how, like, because we don't want to play the same set. If we were there in the spring and we come back in the fall or winter, we don't want to play the same songs you heard last time. Of course, we're going to play the hits, like whatever. We're going to play Walk Away, Social Drinker, like those bangers, but we'll change the order up. We'll try some like new things with transitions and things, and it's really about making the show fun, because we're just not like the band that goes in like too deep into the catalog. We've done that in the past, and what I've found is like, we don't really. I want people singing as much of the set as possible. I feel like if they're singing, they're having a good time, and it's not that if they're not singing, they're having a bad time. They're just kind of like taking it in. They might be enjoying themselves, but they're taking it in. Oh, I don't know this one. What is this? I want them to know the songs, and a lot of times, like playing like the old songs from like 20 years ago, it's kind of rough. It's kind of like, we have a lot of newer fans. I mean, we're like blessed, to have, fans all the time, like coming in, like new fans, but it's interesting. So we do try to throw in one or two old ones from time to time for like the old heads, the people that have been coming out for a while. We did do a set a couple years ago when Shell Shock came out. That fall tour, we set a goal that we wanted to play every song on the album. There's 14 songs on the album. We wanted to play every song on the album. We couldn't do it in one night because that's too many brand new songs. You got to make room for all the big songs and all the hits and stuff, right? So we split it up to where it was like 3 sets with like 3 or 4 songs from the new album. And that seemed to work, but you could tell that some of the songs weren't landing as well as others.
Because they were new, because they were just, like you said, like nodding their heads and just kind of like taking it in. Like, I haven't heard this one. I don't know. They don't know if it's a new song or if it's a deep cut from another album. Maybe, that might be some of the challenges you have with maybe putting out with new fans and new music, right? That's a weird dichotomy.
And it's a new, some of it was a new sound, like we were heavier. We brought a lot of heavier sound into Shell Shock. And this one is even heavier. Like, it's like, the new one's coming out next Friday, actually. It's more, it leans more rock, more pop punk. There's a couple reggae songs on it. but it reminds me of like kind of a cross between like Daydreams and Detonate in a way. It's just
Yeah.
more refined and more just bigger production. But the songs are great. So I really hope that people take to them, and, you know, people are going to find their favorites and they're going to make their own
Sure.
playlists, and that's fine. That's what you do with albums, right? I
Yeah.
would love for it to be I would love for it to be a no skips record for a lot of people. But yeah, you know, so we're going to try to throw in as many new songs as possible. We got this Bowling for Soup tour coming up in September and then November for the second leg. And we're going to
Yeah.
play a lot of the new songs because it's a pop punk crowd. And,
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
we will play the song, some of the songs that, you know, we came up with, you know, like the ones everybody kind of grew to know us with, to kind of help build the bridge. But we're going to play a lot of pop punk, I think.
Spicy love is getting heated in the moment. We blame each other and nobody wants to own it. If we just slow it down and hit those brakes, cause we don't have to do this, gonna make it through this. I'll be drowning in a thunderstorm, riding around in a hurricane for you. Think I've had enough that I want more. Ooh, whoa, ooh, whoa. Cause I won't let go, and I'll follow you. So just let me know when you're ready to come back home. Oh.
Yeah, and that's great. I mean, like I said, you're gonna be playing with the right crowd, right? You want to make sure, you know, everything kind of, you know, goes off with no hitches and all that kind of stuff, and do your thing. And, you know, I think that's smart. I know, you know, I've listened to the entire record, and it's amazing, and I can't wait for people to hear the other singles or the other songs from the album. I know it's coming out, and I think this podcast is going to come out, I think, on Friday, so like a week before the album comes out. So we're not gonna talk about any of the songs on there. We'll let for you know, your fans to go through those. But I do want to talk about some of these songs individually. But before that, I want to kind of get into, you guys have been around since 95, 96,
Yeah.
right? Is when you guys started.
95.
So it's like
We started
30
summer
years now.
95. Yeah, 31 years if you're counting like basement time at mom's house, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's a long time for any band or anything or any kind of job, no matter how fun or how cool it is, or, you know, anything. It's a huge milestone, you know. I mean, I guess it would be 31 years this year, which is kind of crazy. But what keeps you excited doing this year after year, and doing tours and doing shows and releasing records and all that kind of stuff? What keeps you, Howie, interested in the game?
I think it's it's the belief that we're doing something great, you know.
Yeah.
And that's obviously subjective. Music is subjective, but I believe in it so much. I've always thought that our songs could do more than what they've done over the years. I always thought we could be a great radio band. I always did back in the day, you know.
Yeah.
We came up in the 90s, man, you know, in 2000s, where radio was king, and we knew if we got signed to a major label and we got radio play, we could be doing the same thing that, you know, Less Than Jake is doing today, Real Big Fish, Goldfinger. We could be doing all that.
Sure.
We just never got, you know, we did get the looks. I can't say that. We did get the looks, but we just weren't, I mean, I don't really know, but my guess is we weren't polished enough, or like the people at the labels didn't have a vision. They couldn't see what we saw. And, you know, maybe they didn't know what to do with a reggae rock band. And we had some majors, you know, hitting us up, and just never panned out. You know, I'd start talking, and a few months later, it was just sort of sputter out and be done. And
Sputter out, yeah.
yeah, you know, they'd be like, oh, well, you know, they don't really, they want to see more of our history. I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, we're, you know, and
Right.
and really, we hadn't really been on tour yet. We're still a band playing locally. And the last time we got hit was by J Records. That was a major owned by Clive Davis. And A&R guy was hitting us up on MySpace, man. And he
MySpace.
I know, came to some shows, and he was gonna put us on a showcase for Clive. And a few weeks went by, I didn't hear anything, and I hit him up. I'm like, hey man, I just want to check in. Oh yeah, you know, they just want to see more history. I'm like, It was always the same thing. And
Oh man.
they
Yeah.
just didn't know what to do with us, and I mean, he's right. We didn't have any sort of history. I mean, they weren't ready to take a gamble on us, this little band from Maryland.
Sure. Yeah, no, I mean, but you've been doing it 30 years. You've been successful. You've been touring with a lot of these great big bands and stuff, and you're becoming that big band and setting that precedence for bands coming up. I think your hard work ethic. I've always said this about you guys, and I've seen you multiple times, even on your solo stuff, and you online. You're probably the busiest man on socials that I've ever seen in my life, or doing everything. And you're like a when people say like, oh, he's a man's man, or he's a kind of a deal. You're like the fan singer, basically. Like you're always there for people, right? So like you're constantly posting, and then you're constantly replying or liking or whatever, and you're always there. You're always on YouTube or on the socials and stuff. I'm like, how does this guy do it? He's got kids. He's on socials all the time. He's playing shows. I think you're the hardest working frontman like ever, man, and that's a true to test because. I feel like that you really do care about your fans and respect what they think.
Yeah, my wife loves it and hates it.
Yeah,
It's just she loves how driven I am with it. But it takes a lot of time away from her and the kids. And
Sure.
So that's the trade off. And being honest, like I thought I would be. I thought I'd be able to cut back on this by now, and sort of be a little more mysterious, I guess.
Yeah.
And not be all over social media like I have always been, because I was just hoping that by now, like we could be, I always thought we should be playing amphitheaters and selling out giant rooms by now, and making enough money to be able to sort of not have to work as hard.
Sure.
That's just the reality for probably 95 or 98% of bands,
Sure.
and we just happen to fall into that. We're very lucky that Ali Hagendorf put us on Soak Up the Sun playlist in 2015, 16, and then a couple more there, and Beach Vibes a few years later. We're very lucky that she found us and did that, because I don't know that we would have the same following that we have now, like as big. Playlists were like a big thing 10 years ago, and it's so there's that, but I've always wanted to be. We took our daughter to see the Billie Eilish concert movie a couple months ago, and it was great. And one of the things that she said was, "I want to be the artist that I would want my favorite artist to be. I want I want to be there for them the way that I would, you know what I mean." And,
Sure.
And I vibe with that. I was like, yes, 100%. That's how I've always thought. And so whether that's like hitting people back in a DM, or sometimes I'll just chat with people in a DM, I'll do the live streams and I'll just talk to fans, and gotten to know a lot of these people on their first name basis. And, I'm manning like all the message, like all the DMs between like Messenger, Instagram.
I don't know how you do it, man. I don't know how
TikTok,
you do it, brother.
YouTube. Yeah, it's crazy. Answering comments and doing things. I just try to like stay up on it. Some days I'll get away from it and it gets like this comments or whatever, and I'm just like, fuck it, I gotta go in there. It's like this thing. It's like an ADHD thing where I got to get in there.
Yeah.
I don't always get them all.
Right.
There's plenty of ones that are just hanging there, but I'll go back and I'll see. Like I was looking yesterday, and there were YouTube comments from 12 years ago that I'm going, oh, dude, thanks for checking it out. Like yesterday.
Oh, I'm glad you like daydreams.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I just want people to know that we're here, we see you, and we wouldn't be able to do this without you.
I think that's that goes a long way to a fan. You know what I mean? And I'll speak. I remember you and I started following you on my own personal Facebook page, and I had bought my Rodecaster for the podcast because I was going to start it like 4 or 5 years ago, and you had commented on it and said something. I'm like, man, I didn't even like ask you or like tag you in it, and you like commented on it, and I was like, man, that's the coolest fucking thing I've ever like had a band that I love and respect, and like encouraging me to do it, and I thought that was super awesome. And I'm like, man, is he following what I'm doing? I know like we're friends and stuff on Facebook. We're not like connecting every day or anything, but it was just this was like 4 years ago, I think. It was just super cool that I'm like, holy shit, man, this is pretty badass, so I wanted to thank you. And it does speak volumes when you do reach out to fans, for sure.
Dude, you're welcome. Dude, if I'm excited about something or I know a lot of shit about something, I become the CEO of the company. Like I become like the number one salesman for this product. Like whatever it is, even like Resident Evil, let's talk about it for hours. You know what I mean? Like Rodecaster, I know a lot of stuff, but you know what I mean? Like I've tried all the different things. And when people, that's one of my things. Like that's why I did my Tales from the Green Room podcast years ago, because I was like, I like helping, I like giving advice. When I know stuff about it, and I feel like there's so many pitfalls that aren't necessary, and a lot of people just aren't informed. Like people their van shouldn't catch on fire. When you're on tour, that's fucking awful. That happened to us. Like I explained, don't drive 90 miles an hour in the mountains and blow your transmission and have it spray all over the undercarriage, and then your shit catches fire later that night. You know what I mean? Like, I'm all about like giving advice when I can give it, sometimes unsolicited, and I'll tell people like, I'm so sorry for this unsolicited advice, but I'm compelled to tell you what my experience with this. And I try not to speak on things that I don't know shit about. Like if you ask me about guitars, I don't fucking know. What kind of guitar should I get? I don't know. Get the one that I got because it's sick. Like I don't know.
God, that's so funny. Yeah, it is. It is one of those things. All right. So let's talk about Bad Summer. I love the title. Where did it come from? And it's your Ballyhoo, your beach rock, all that kind of stuff. It's not a shocker that it's called Bad Summer, right? It's but does it mean something to you personally? Bad Summer, the terminology.
It was just it started with the idea of the premise of the song. Like it wasn't anything like, it wasn't hard to come up with. Like it was just like, this dude's having a bad summer. Like, and it was when I was writing the chorus, I just said it like the idea was like, oh, this guy's having a breakup and she's breaking up with him right at the top of summer. And I thought I was, so a lot of times when you're writing songs, when you're working on demos and you got the mic in front of you, you get your headphones on, you're just got the playback on, you press record. I sit there in my studio for hours doing this, and it just came out. This summer's about to be a bad one. I was like, huh, it's kind of cool. And then she left me again under the hot sun. I was like, it's so simple, but it's like 5th grade level shit. But but it's like, I mean, most people read at like a 5th grade level or below. So they don't like to be too smart when they're trying to decipher lyrics. Just give me it's like almost like a country song. You know what I mean? Like they get to the point. It's not like this prog metal metaphors lyrics. Yeah, for sure. Keep it simple. And so and I knew this was gonna be like a pop song. And I was like, that's something that everyone's felt some heartbreak and somebody's dumped them or whatever. And I just thought that'd be a fun premise. And the original demo is called Dancing and Clapping, like no G, just dancing and clapping, because like just stupid. Like the claps were on there from the demo. Like I knew right away. I was like, I'm putting claps on this shit. I'm putting a cowbell on this shit. Like it came together, like musically came together like pretty easily. The lyrics were something that I had most of the chorus, and I think I had the first verse done by the time I got to John's Feldy's out in California.
Yep.
And he's like, "Oh, I like this. Let's do this." And I think that was like first or second day we did that song, maybe the second day.
That was the first song from the record that you started doing.
We did the first one was a song called "Blood Money," which is one of my favorites.
Dude, that's my favorite song. I can't wait for people to hear that song. That's one of my favorites.
That song rips, dude. That song is a Ballyhoo song. Like, it's like
totally.
These songs all these songs will come to be Ballyhoo songs, but that is a Ballyhoo song, dude. Like, that'll fit with anything, any of that old shit. And I can't wait for people to hear it. It just rips all the way through. Blood Money was the first one we worked on. Yes, I think Bad Summer might have been the third one, because John's thing was like, all right, we'll do one of yours and then we'll write something together. And then tomorrow we'll do one of yours and then we'll write something together. So I think Bad Summer was the next day and technically was the third song.
Yeah, so let's talk about John. All right, so you've been making music since '95. You have 11, now 12 albums and like 7 EPs. Have you guys always recorded and mixed everything yourself before you got to John, or have you done everything like DIY before you got to John, or did you have producers and engineers before then?
Yeah. Oh, and technically, I got to correct you, and this is not your fault. The DSPs will make something an album when it's really not an album. It just depends on how many songs and how long it is.
Oh, gotcha.
Technically, this is our 10th album coming out, and the rest is like EPs and singles. You attach them, and then if you put one too many, it makes it an album. So I've tried to have that corrected. It's just a pain in the ass. So
all good.
We were just for years we were the Dropbox band. We pretty much after Detonate, we would do demos and stuff, and I would send the stuff to the guys over Dropbox. They would just play and we would fuck around and we would have the demo, and then we would go into a studio and record it. And then once the pandemic happened, my chops were just good enough after kind of really getting into recording for about 7 years at that point, and knowing Pro Tools. I was like, well, we can't go anywhere, so we got Dropbox and I got Pro Tools. Let's
and you're now the CEO.
I'm a guy, so
yeah.
I'm the producer, engineer, mixer, master, whatever. So we started just writing a bunch of songs, and sort of, now we did have some songs left over from a studio session we did at Conatown, Pepper's studio, our friend's Pepper. But I think the other half of it was just like Dropbox stuff. Like, all right, I'm going to play scratch guitar and vocals to this click, all right, Donald, play drums on it. Okay, Nick, here's the drums, play bass over. And we would just build, and so ever since then, so 2020, we started doing that. And then we were, about to do this again. And I was just over it. I was like, I was having like an existential kind of meltdown last fall. And you were asking how you stay stoked about it and excited and happy and everything. It's really hard. Because for the reasons that I gave, which is like, I really thought we'd be doing bigger things by now. And, I don't want to go too much into the negative with that, because I know that there are bands that would kill to have what we have, but we make minimum wage, bro. It's like, this ain't, we're not making a bunch of money and shit. And, so it's hard when you got a family of 4 and your kids ask all summer, are we going to the beach? Like, fuck, and so I was just sick of it. And I was like, I'm fucking done with this. Like, I don't want to do this anymore if we're just going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. And that included like the touring and stuff, and like just touring our asses off and not really seeing any upgrade in our pay, and just, so we base it off of salary, because, the money has to go back into the pile. Like, we reinvest into the business. but we just kept hitting plateaus, and it just wasn't growing, man. And so I was freaking out. I told the band it was not a good conversation. It was not fun at all. Everybody hated it. And I think a couple weeks later, my manager called me and he's like, we're talking. I'm reading the riot act and just tell him all my shit, just busting all out.
Yeah.
He's like, do you want me to call Feldmann? I was like, yes, fucking yes. You know, like I've been wanting to work with Feldy for decades, man, because I always knew that our music was perfect for his production style. Like I just knew. It was like when I hear those Goldfinger records and the Blink records, I'm like, that could be us. Like, fuck, dude, that shit is especially Goldfinger, because we do that, you know, like we do the punk rock and the reggae and the ska, like we do all that. I was like, this is fucking perfect. And we were also, that coupled with everybody was bored playing reggae songs. We were just bored. Like, we know that we can do that. I can write a killer reggae rock track, man. And I was just sick of doing it. I was like, I want to write big fucking soaring hooks with rocking guitars and big ass drums and bass lines that like make your fucking balls fall off. You know what I mean? Like I want, you know what I mean? I want that. And I knew John could get that for us. And not to mention, I mean, his incredible songwriting. Guy's a goddamn beast.
You're a loser, you can't fool her. You just doom scroll all night long, making plans to ruin someone. You just wanna sing along to your favorite singer. You use your fingers to spray hate on the internet. You're just a troll, but it takes a toll, and I won't feed into the nonsense. I guess I'll go fuck myself. I think that you hate yourself. You wish that you were someone else. Maybe you should get some help. I guess I'll go fuck myself.
From that phone call where I'm crying on the phone to my manager, 6 hours later, I get a text with a screenshot, you know, from John. It's like, oh yeah, love those guys. We'd love to do it. Let's do it. Fuck yeah.
That's awesome.
So we figured out. It was funny too, because we had some shit planned for February, like a tour, because we always go out to the West Coast on tour in February. But we ended up moving it so we could all. It was like Bumpin' Uglies. It was when they had available to do our thing together that we did this past year, and we're like, well, shit, those are always great, so let's do that. And February is completely empty, and John's schedule was empty. And we're like, oh shit, this is perfect, you know? Felt like everything that was happening. It felt like green lights. Matthew McConaughey has a great book called Green Lights. Highly recommend. Get the Audible one, because he reads it and it's incredible, dude. Like the way he reads it. But basically, it's like Good Omens and Bad Omens. Green lights, red lights, right? And everything was a green light, dude. Everything was like, shit was coming out of the universe. I'm like, yes, like I'm like, okay, go that way, you know, like North Star, you know. And that's just how it felt. There's a lot of weird things that were happening at the time, and we just kept it going. So I wrote like 30 songs, like just Nick pitched a couple, like just 30 songs we went in there with. I think we used like 6 of them, you know?
Oh, and, did you? Yeah.
Yeah. Cause we wrote a bunch with John, but, you know, and then we're in there doing it. And me and John, I got there a few days before the band. Me and John had like a 10-minute conversation. Just, oh, how you been, man? Oh, great. Yeah, cool. Cause we worked with him in 2014 on Beautiful Day, like a remake of that.
Oh, did you?
It was cool. Yeah. And it was cool, but it was like a day and a half. It was so fast. It's like a hit factory there. And it's just in and out, and he's got it so down. And even now, like, you know, 12 years later or whatever it was, he had it. His whole process is just, there's no friction. He knows, like, guitars are already tuned, ever tuned. Like, guitars are ready to go. Tones dialed in, drums set up. We're not changing anything. Just get in there and play what's there. Like, bass tones, everything is perfect. Not mic is there. It's all there. And you just
all you got to do is plug and play, right?
You don't spend hours dialing in a tone or setting up the drums, or you just go. And
it's awesome.
So we were there, we had a 10-minute conversation, and then me and him got to it. And it was crazy because, so with Blood Money, for example, that was the first song. He's like, what do you got? What do you want to work on? I was like, well, I think I know Blood Money the best. I just finished this one. So let's do that one. He's like, cool. So it already had, I program the drums, I do the bass and guitar. Like I do all this shit. I think Nick actually sent bass for that as a demo, but I do everything because I don't, like in the demos, because I don't trust anyone to have an imagination. I don't trust anyone to have a vision, and call it control freak if you want. But when you get it, you're like, oh, this sounds like a fucking radio ready song. Like when you get the demo from me, it's very seldom I'll send like a bare bones, like voice memo, you know? And so we had that and everything was to the click already. So he just put it in there and he like filtered out the drums. He left the drums in. That's what it was. He filtered out my vocals, I think, or maybe I gave him the stems or something. And I just sang the vocals over top of the demo, and that was it. And then my brother came in a few days later, and we did that for a few days, and with all these songs until the guy showed up. Like I got there Tuesday, guy showed up Saturday, and then my brother played drums to all that, my vocals. Like it was the weirdest.
Wow.
process.
Yeah, it's like that's awesome. Yeah. That's like backwards.
Dude, his process, I'm adopting it. Like that's what I want to do. I'm like, everything that we did, we didn't waste any time. It was like so sick. Like, because he trusts his engineers. You know, like when they get a hold of it, it's just like, I mean, because you know, things are wobbly and kind of weird, but he gets it in there and makes it clean, and that's just what it is. It's, you know, you have to compete with all the big shit that's out there, and that's all what they're doing. Everything's to the grid, you know, whatever. I mean, there's, you know, it's not perfect, like not one, two, you know, but there's still some feel, but I don't think any of the fans would feel that anyway. It was just, it's the way he does his shit is so, I love it.
Yeah. And it's, you know, it's funny and you know, I listened to the whole record. I love it. Absolutely love it. And it's everything that you're describing it, what you wanted. It sounded like you really created what exactly you wanted on this record. It's big, it's catchy, all that kind of stuff. But what I really did notice, and I've been a fan of John's like forever, you know, the Goldfinger and all the records he's produced, the Blink-182s like you were talking about. I've been following his journey and listening to Bad Summer. I can definitely pick up on his little notes because I've listened to his records so many times, the records he's produced, and like maybe some special effects here and there. I'm like, ooh, that could be in a Goldfinger song. I could, you know, it's like these little idiosyncrasies in Bad Summer. You know, you could tell he had some of his hand in there that I hadn't heard from you guys, which is a refreshing thing. You know, adding in, I think there's like some subtle horns and Cali Girl, you know, Cali Girl 2 and all that kind of stuff. Like there's some really cool shit. That he's known for, and I could see that now in working with him. Now, when I say that, working with him, does it change your? You say you're working on some songs with him. Does it change the way that you write if you're working with him? And how does that dynamic work when you guys are both kind of working on a song together? Like, because he's a front man too, right? And you don't want to kind of like, you know, like take his advice and maybe it's not the greatest advice, or, you know, it seems like you guys got along really well and it didn't seem like there was any feathers ruffled or anything like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, first off, I'm in the room with like the GOAT, you know, so I gotta like, I have to compete with everything he's ever done. You know, I have to like, I know he's going to come strong, like with some great hooks, great melodies, good lyrics, you know. I mean, he's made some really big records outside of Goldfinger, and you know, so I knew that I was going up against that, and I was like, I was intimidated for sure, like knowing that, because I'll get stuck, you know, I'll hit the wall when I'm writing lyrics because I overthink it. I'm like, this has to be the most perfect. I want people to be able to tattoo every line, you know, on their body. And because I've seen people get my shit tattooed on their bodies, you know, and
Yeah.
I want every line to be like that. But no, of course not. That doesn't have to be like that. You know, just come up with something cool that people want to sing. It doesn't have to be that hard. And there were some moments in the studio where, you know, we're writing, we're going back and forth. Thunderstorms was one of them. I'm like, I had part of the first verse, I had the chorus, but the second verse, I was trying to figure that out. Wasn't sure what to do. And we're sitting there for a while, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm wasting this guy's time. Oh my God. Like he wants to get the fuck out of here, you know? And
Right.
go hang out with his family, right? But I mean, he just kicks back. We share a note, like an Apple Note, and he's just typing away. And I'm like, how are you doing this? You know? And then he was totally cool with like me pushing back and saying, I don't know, how about this? You know?
Yeah.
Okay, it's cool. I like that. And then there's a song called Ruby Drive. It's the last track on the record. And we were trying to come up with the hook. When you say you hear Johnisms, or Feldyisms, whatever, Slowly Dying and Ruby Drive there's a lot of John in those songs, man. Like in the melodies, especially in the hook of the Slowly Dying, Jesus Christ, and Ruby Drive. But we were trying to figure out the chorus of Ruby Drive is and after all, we still carry on. Can we find the meaning in the chaos? Now he came up with that, and he didn't have a first line, I think. And we were fucking around. We were just playing on acoustic, and something. I was like, what about 30 Years Strong? Because it was sort of like the song is about the history of the band, and it felt very clever because, you know, it's the Ruby Drive is the street that we started the band on in my mom's house, and so, and that was in '95. So we just started talking about the history of the band, like touring and all that wild shit that we did. And I was like, what about 30 Years Strong? He really liked it. And we were fucking around, and we probably got 10 minutes into that, just kind of, you know, he got real comfortable with it. And I was like, actually, no. I'm sorry. I was like, I want it to be and after all. And he's like, I really like the 30 Years Strong line. That's really good. And I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, I know, but like, I just think I don't want to date the song. And even though I don't know, it kind of is, but the song can be evergreen 40 or 50 years down the road because of all the history we'll have by that point, right? And I was like, and after all, just meaning like we just explained all this crazy shit the band went through, and then we say, and after all, we still carry on, you know? And then he ended up, you know, being cool. He's like, all right, that's fine, whatever. Yeah. He's like, I'm not going to fight you on it. It's fine. I like it. Yeah. I'm like, cool. I don't want, you know. He, you know, being the professional that he is, he knows when and when not to die on the hill. And he is there for the artist ultimately, man. And I've heard him say it many times. And I mean, I can back it up because I was there. I experienced it. And I did, you know, we did this album in, you know, the bulk of it we did in 10 days. And so about 12 days, you know, after tweaking some things. But after spending that time with him, I can tell that everything he says, he's about it, man. And his studio is all about fun and staying positive. And I don't know if you've seen his lives, but it's like, or his stories, but it's like, I love my life. You know, it's like, like he's like that. He's just, this dude,
that's awesome,
will suck down a whole fucking coffee in 60 seconds and just go, you know, just go. And like, and we're going. My wife just showed me her butt. Sorry. That just threw me off. What were we talking about?
I don't know. Feldmann. Yeah. There you go.
She knows what she's doing.
No, it's great. Now, will you be working with him on records to come, kind of a deal, or is this kind of a one-off kind of thing, or just kind of see where it goes after this? You know what I mean?
I told him, I was like, bro, I want to do this every year. You know, he just like laughed. You know, it's we, I would like to, I want to see in the end, you know, I want to see how the fans receive it. I want to see if, you know, if a year from now, after the record's been out and we're ready to go in and make another one, I want to see if, you know, we've moved the needle a bit and we can afford to go back in there because, you know, John's not going to, you know, he's been doing this a long time and we have to respect him and his experience and his catalog and discography, whatever. And we're not going to go in there and be like, hey man, can we pay $10,000 and come in? Like, we're not going to do that. You know, like we were like, if we do this, it's going to be big boy shit. And so we got to figure out how to come up with this money to make this work. And we were able to figure it out. Awesome. And and it's not that it's not scary, you know, but this is what taking a risk, an informed risk, this is what what taking risks feels like. It's supposed to feel a little bit dangerous. Sure. You know, this is rock
and almost
roll,
like
right?
It's almost like a next step too, right? Like, where else are you going to go? You've done everything. You exhausted all your options as far as recording and mixing and doing everything yourself. You know, this is like the next step. All right, we've done everything we can. We've ran down the hill with that kind of stuff. Let's switch it up. And it's smart to do it and re-challenge yourself to, as an artist, you know, getting in there with somebody with a different kind of ear and sound, right? And I think that would, you know, ultimately inspire you.
This is 100% what I've said to the team on that call. I was like, we've done this. We've already done this. We need to do something bigger. We need to do something big. And before COVID, every album got more expensive to make. Like because we're getting better and better productions. Right. And we would go into a studio and we would, you know, work it out and be together. And we were all kind of like spent on being alone in our bedrooms recording, you know, and then I would just magically send him this mix, which was great. But we were like, we haven't been in a room together and kind of working it out. And this was just, to me, this was the next logical step. It was like, we're going to, and my other thing was like, I'm not giving anyone our money unless it's John Feldmann. Like, I fucking said that. And I said that a few years in a row. Like, I can do this. I can do this. Our records sound great. You know, I'm a little biased, I guess, but the fans seem to love it. You know, but if we're going to pay somebody, I want it to be this guy. And, you know, just, I am me and the whole band are so proud and so happy with what we got. And it's dude.
I love the record and I'm excited for everybody to hear it. You know, when Mike sent it to me, I was like, oh, are you kidding me? I get to listen to it beforehand? Oh, hell yeah. It's such a, it's a great record, and I can't wait to, you know, all the Ballyhooligans and all, you know, everybody, all your fans and all stuff, and see what kind of reception you guys get. And I know you get, I did see that you had already well over 5,000 pre-saves, which is really good, right? I know that was one of your goals. Is that is that a breaking record for Ballyhoo?
Oh, it is. Yeah. Let me see where we're at right now. I haven't checked today. We are at 6,039. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, hell yeah. You still got a week to go.
Yeah. Got a week and a half to go. So yeah, I don't think we've ever had more than a couple thousand.
Really?
And I don't think it was on an album. I think we got people to do it on like an EP or a single or something. But I've never really pushed it that hard. And I was like, you know, excuse me, sorry. One of the things that does help, I don't know how much it helps, but is getting pre-saves. It like pokes the algorithm, because I think on release day, more people are going to get it like in their release radar and on their feed or whatever. So you'll hopefully have like more people streaming on the first day. which makes the whole thing about Spotify is you got to get your popularity score up. I don't know what ours is, but you have to get your popularity score up, and that's like people sharing your song, people listening to your catalog, people, liking your songs, saving your songs, like all that increases your popularity score. So I think that's something that contributes. I don't fucking know, but it can't hurt. And
well, it's a sign of good times, man. I mean, that's huge for you guys. Maybe it's a sign, kind of a precursor of what comes next for you guys, and I'm super excited.
I'm grateful for our fans. We have the best fans, and it's not. I don't take it for granted, man. It's like it's hard. Like I said earlier, it's hard to reach everybody. It's hard to let everybody know, But me and the band are super grateful for everybody that listens or shares or whatever, man, or tells somebody about our band, or buys a ticket or buys a shirt. Like it means a lot to us, and we really couldn't do it, without you.
Yeah. Okay. So last question. If you could tell everybody right now, like what to expect from this new record, what would you want to convey to them before the record comes out on the 28th? Like what can fans expect? Something that maybe that you haven't discussed yet, I know you did a couple other podcasts prior to, what can fans, what do you hope fans get out of this album, should I say?
I hope that I've seen a couple people, like, as we stated earlier, I'm online. I see all the comments. I see all the shit. I've seen a few where people are like, I don't really like this stuff. Like, I don't know. There's something weird about this stuff. I don't like it. I hope that, look, there's 7 songs you haven't heard yet. Hopefully there's one on there for you. But go at it with an open mind. Listen to the record on the first day. Listen to it. Listen to the album 3 times. If you don't like it after the 3rd time, all right, maybe the next one, but have an open mind. To everybody else that's excited, man, I really cannot wait for you to hear this shit. I think it's one of the best things we've ever done. It's certainly the best sounding thing we've ever done. The songs are great. The melodies are huge. It's like Ballyhoo, but like blown up like crazy, like major label Ballyhoo radio band type of shit. And we, there's a lot of rock, but dude, I know people are used to the reggae rock, the beach rock, that's cool. That ain't over. I still love that shit. We need to get away, and we just want to rock out. Some of us are a little angry about the shit that's been going on lately in our fucking country. I want to rock out. You know what I mean? I want to rip. I want to have more songs in the set that make people go ape shit, and I want to go ape shit. I was like, I realized before we made this record, I was like, dude, like, we don't do any more like fucking rock star jumps anymore. Because we're playing most of the reggae songs, It's like, I want to do more of that. I look at John Feldmann, is just jumping around the whole set. He's like pushing 60, Like, I want that. And I'm supposed to stay in shape, But I want people to listen to this record and be like, okay, that's my workout playlist, or that's my driving playlist, like, whatever, dude. If this one ain't your sitting by the pool, chilling, or hanging out on the boat, that's fine. There are a couple reggae songs, but that's fine, man. Make it for something else.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what I love about your band, because it's like, I've been following you for a while, and it's like, you have, you have your punk record, you have your reggae EPs and all that. You've done everything, you know what I mean? Like, you're not pigeonholed. And, selfishly for me, I'm always waiting for the hard, like the Maryland Summer, like the straight up punk, and then it goes into the reggae. Like, I love that, the schizophrenia, kind of Ballyhoo. Yeah. So that's like my wheelhouse, and that's why I love this record so much, because it does have an opportunity for you to sing along. And like, I guess I'll go fuck myself. I think that's probably going to be like one of the biggest hits, and people will probably have tattoos of that song. Speaking of haters and reading everybody and all that kind of stuff, I could tell that was so very relatable. Personal. Yeah.
that song is just a meme song. It was meant to be a meme, dude, I'm telling you, there's video of it going to Vlaardingen, the Netherlands. I hope I'm saying it right. We played that song and they were all singing it. Like, all these Europeans were singing that song. We couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. We're not a band that, like, we can't stick to one sound. I want to do it all. And I I love getting in a good reggae groove with like a like sick little driving riff behind it. I love that shit.
Yeah.
I love pretty reggae songs. I love a good rock song. I love a good pop punk song. It's just an acoustic ballad. We do all of it, and we have this huge catalog of like 200 songs or something like that. And you can find, I don't care who you are, you can find something that you like in our catalog.
You like, yeah.
And I think that's cool, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's what I love about Ballyhoo. You guys are doing your own thing, and you've been doing it for 30 years, and here's to 30 more, man. I can't wait for this new record to drop. Howie, thank you so much for joining the podcast, man, and taking your time away from your wife and your kids and vacation, man. Really appreciate the support and the time. Thank you.
Dude, thanks for wanting to chat, man. I appreciate it. And I'm glad you love the record, and everybody go listen to that record.
Yes, sir. All right. All right, Howie, we'll take care. See you.
Thanks, man. Later.